Good morning, guys and gals, and welcome to the Monday, November 6th episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. As y'all could see by what I just posted, Tony, of course, popped in, as I was typing, but not as chilly here as it has been in the past past week. A week ago, a week ago today, we officially, hit that 30s mark, and then Tuesday morning it was 27 degrees and started snowing, and snowed all through the day and into the evening, almost 5 inches before it was all said and done. Man, now that everybody's starting to come in, everybody's starting to crawl in here. Let me see what's going on up here. Let me see. Hope I can get the bloody chat to scroll, but apparently it's not going to. There we go. Now we got it. Let me see here. That's a screenshot. Flashbacks of the time I got drunk and went to the opium. Good morning to you too, Tony. Good morning, Santee. Good morning, Jan and Sarah. Glad to see you guys. All's well. Morning, Nick. Good having you, bud. Oh, let's see here. Who else? Nick, Jan. Hope everybody's doing well today. Like I said, it's not as chilly as it was a week ago, but it's still chilly. I think we're at 40, 42, 43 degrees right now. I know I was wearing my long handles earlier, and thought, I'll go on, take the trash bin down, give everybody in the neighborhood a good laugh. Just my long handles. And I stepped outside, and I'm like, yeah, maybe a pair of breeches and a shirt on over the top. Whew, that's crazy. Good morning, Jay. Good to see you. Yep, definitely be careful. Yeah, there's all them there nutballs out on the road, man. They don't see them big trucks and vans with, you know. So just be careful. 34, damn, wow. It got down to like 38 last night. So when I woke up at 3 something this morning, I actually stayed up last night so I'd sleep longer. But the whole time change thing yesterday morning really kind of screwed me over. Um, you know, I should be used to it by now. I mean, 55 years of time changes. You would think I would be used to falling back an hour in November and springing forward an hour in the spring. But Jay was sick all weekend. I thought daylight savings time was going away. Yeah, they've been trying to vote that down for years around here, man. They've been. It's never going to change. Businesses lose an hour's worth of income um, every time it changes, and yeah, it's never going to change. Up all night, time change messes me up too. Yeah, maybe one of these days. I mean, and it's really weird because Parts of Indiana stays the same. They don't do the time changes. But the north part of the state does, and the whole state of Michigan does, and I think parts of Ohio does, parts of Illinois and Wisconsin. I don't get it. I don't get it. It would sure make communicating with, people like Santee or even my parents a little bit easier, because there's times that Santee's, you know, 2 hours ahead of me, and there's times he's only an hour ahead of me. And it's the same with my mom and dad, down in Tennessee. There's times there's an hour difference, and there's times there's a 2 hour difference. So, good morning, Chris. Good to see you, bud. I stayed bundled up last night, watched the first 2 episodes of Lawman, Bass Reeves. Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't have a chance to watch it last night. The wife worked some weird hours yesterday. She didn't have to go into 11, but she worked until 7. And by the time she actually got out of there and got home, it was almost 8. So after working outside, blowing leaves and raking and stuff all day yesterday, me and Felix were outside most of the day yesterday, trying to take care of the yard. And tell you what, 7/8 of the leaves that we have in our yard are from the neighbors' trees. We've only got the 2 trees in the backyard that aren't pine trees, but the neighbors have leaf trees all the way down our drive, so we get tons of leaves from them every year. And I got to go out today and finish getting them down to the curbside for the city to come by and pick up. But I was exhausted. Felix was exhausted, but I made dinner for us last night. And then when I found out the wife was actually officially off work and heading home, I made her one of her little pepperoni pizzas. She likes to make them on the large tortilla shells. And so I made her a stuffed pizza last night. For those of you that don't know, a stuffed pizza is basically just a double layer pizza. You put all the pizza fillings and stuff down, and then you stick another crust on top and do the same thing again. So it's like a double-decker pizza. And but I done something a little different. I used a little bit of that amazing barbecue sauce that Jan brings us every year when she comes up. Good morning, Fish. Good to see you, bud. Forgot. Earth is tilted. Yeah, it is. Your hours are weird this week. So are mine. Mine are really messed up this week. He's got me closing the next 3 nights, and I'm not a closer. As a matter of fact, we just talked the other day about me opening 5 days a week because the customers, when they come in for the lunch rush at 11 or so, they like seeing me there. And we're getting better and better reviews from the lunch rush people because of me being there and putting that little extra love and stuff into the food. Also the fact, I'm not an addict, and wash my hands and wear gloves and don't eat on the line, etc. But well, neither here nor there. But yeah, for some reason he's got me closing. So yeah, I'm always kind of happy when I'm there. But instead of getting that 5.5 hours every morning, I'm on these little 2 and 3 hour night things. So go figure, the time when we need the most help financially is when he sticks me on these little 2 and 3 hour night things, and I take a major cut in my hours. So I don't know. I don't know. There's not much of a smiling face about this schedule. As a matter of fact, I might have to walk up there later today and have a nice talk with him because it's not going to fly. So we're supposed to meet my family in 2 weeks in central Indiana to have our family Thanksgiving, 'cause that's the only time that the wife can get off because the week of Thanksgiving is completely blacklisted, and she can't take or request any time off during that blacklisted time. So we decided instead of going after Thanksgiving this year, we'd go before Thanksgiving with mom and dad coming up from Tennessee and everything. Morning, Ty. Good to see you, bud. Um, but see, we don't even know if we're going to be able to make it down there for that. So, because of the whole deal with the mortgage company last week, taking that payment out 3 days early, it really screwed us over. By yesterday morning, not only had they taken out that like $630 on Halloween night, when they're not supposed to take it out until that Friday, that first Friday of the month. Um, Not only have they taken that out, but we sat down and looked at the account, and other bills had come in Friday and Saturday, and the total deficit is now over negative 900. So yeah, her next couple paychecks are completely gone, and I'm going to have to continuously walk down to the gas station after work and just cash my checks so we have something to live on. So, but that's not even going to help with my hours being cut. So, let's see here. I'm losing an hour. My shift's because of business slowing down. Our business is actually picking up, especially during the lunch rush. A brand new business just opened here in town, and the owner of the business was in the restaurant the other day, and he was actually so impressed with his $12 sandwich basket and the fact that I kept coming out personally and checking on him, seeing if he needed anything. The waitress was constantly checking on him. He, God's honest truth, uh, he tipped the waitress and I both $20. Um, so I mean that really helped when it come to getting a little bit of food um, the other day. But you know, it only goes so far when you only got one grocery store in town, and they like to do like a 30% markup because we are a tourist town now. So another account would be able to go over 500. Yeah, we didn't either. But the credit union, they do things a little bit different. So I ordered a Thanksgiving meal from QVC for the kids and I. I've never ordered food like that. I always make it. I'll get up real regular time, 4 o'clock or so, Thanksgiving morning. The wife has to work Thanksgiving Day. She'll work 9 to 5, of course. And, I'll make the turkey and make the sweet potatoes and make the green bean casserole and do it all that way. Everybody shows up about 4 or so. The wife gets home a little after 5, and it's dinner time. I'm putting turkey breast in the crock pot for Thanksgiving. Huh? Wow. Not okay with Brenna's work schedule. Her boss is asking to get smacked by a closed fist if he doesn't stop his crap. One bad boss or another, man. The other one was a complete wiener. and he just got replaced by a bigger wiener. So many wieners flying in and out of that place. It sounds like a Vivid Video filming location. I won't work less than 4 hours, not worth time or money. Well, you know, it takes me a total of about 6 minutes to walk to work. So I've gone up there, fish, literally, honestly, I've walked up there in the rain just to be told, oh, we're not that busy. There's no reason to even clock in. What am I out? 12 minutes? Whoop-de-doo. She'll get a different job when you make the move to Missouri. Yep, she will, because it's not going to be worth her driving back and forth for the hours that she gets. Good morning, Stephen. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. Tell you what, I think I might have put just a little bit too much coffee in the percolator this morning. I'm actually doing the 5-alarm right now, and that's pretty much what it's doing to my digestive system. Is a 5-alarm. I think I might have put just a little bit, just a smidge, too much coffee in the basket to make this pot of coffee this morning, because this stuff is lighting me up. Let me rephrase what I said earlier. I'm hoping to be able to get out in the yard and finish those leaves today, and not spend the whole day running in and out of the bathroom. One of these days, I'll learn to use a measuring cup. We did move, but no jobs here that pay more than what she makes unless we go further south. She's been driving back and forth since we moved last month. She actually just left for work a few minutes ago. You guys ought to look into, based on the history of the town, you should honestly look into some kind of a history-based business. Kind of like the place that you get a lot of your clothes and stuff from. Kind of deal, where people could come in and buy things and stuff like that. So, good morning, Skipper. Good to see you. Hope things are going well up there in the Great White North. Had some coffee yesterday that'll rock your socks. Keep you bebopping all day. I'll tell you what, some of this Black Rifle will do that. And it's not a bitter coffee. It's just a very strong coffee. So, especially that 5-alarm. It's so nice to catch Drew online. Yeah, and I've been really kind of lacking because of the weird hours and stuff that I've been working. I've been really slacking on, showing up for a lot of the live streams or even appearing in the videos. It's just, it's just hard to juggle because it's weird. I'm either up at 4 and working on a video until 9:30, and then heading off to work and coming back home just an hour or so before the wife gets off. Morning, Gunny. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Or I'm having enough time in the morning to work on a video or start to do green screen work or start to download, but then I have to go to work at noon, or I've got the whole day to get a video downloaded, start doing my own filming of myself to put in the video, and then I have to leave early in the afternoon. So it's just wow. Now in the studios, you're getting ready for Christmas season. Oh, wait a second. Maybe another stimulus check will show up. We didn't get the last 3 stimulus checks. They consider her making too much money, but yet when you sum it all up, since she only gets paid twice a month, she actually only makes on the average what a normal person makes a month. Yeah, okay, great. She makes $850 every 2 weeks, but you figure that's only $425 a week. So, but and since the house is still in grandma's name because the mortgage company don't want to change it, and because since her uncles were the power of attorney, their attorney said it's better to not change it over into our name and leave it like it is, and the mortgage company agreed with them. So they don't count that $630 payment every month as money coming out of her income. So yeah, that's the only bad thing. It's been a productive year this year, Drew. Computer's been repaired and enhanced, new mics, studio set up this year, getting ready for Christmas season. That was my plan this year. Not having to run off this little tablet thing again anymore, and getting new mics and new equipment and getting the studio. That's not going to happen. Straight from Honduras, fresh harvested. Let me see here. Let's say the thumbnail almost scares me from joining. Well, it's a little chilly here, so I had to get dressed for the live stream. Only $946 a month. I can't remember what it's like to be paid bi-weekly. It's been so long, once a month. Better stretch. Joys of being on pension. Yeah, definitely. I'm starting fresh so I can start making videos. Very cool. Very cool. I'd like to see you get back in your workshop and start doing things again, man. I mean, even stuff from the pasture and stuff, where you're out there doing the horseback riding and stuff like that. I think that kind of thing would be very, very cool. A little bit of horsemanship, a little bit of leather work. I think that would make for a cool channel. But yeah, I mean, if you sit and think about it, like Fish said, he made 0 this year. Waiting for the right time to get moved, back up north and stuff like that. And, you know, I went 7 years. But during those 7 years, we had grandma here. We had her, 1,100 a month. That was helping to pay for the house and the utilities and stuff like that. And we were taking care of the car and the car payment and the car insurance and food and stuff like that. And now that's all been cut out since her passing back in January. It's hard to believe it's been almost 10 months, isn't it? But, you know, it happens. What do? You sink or swim. I'll have to do my videos in between my gigs. Cabela's has taken me out on both stores. West Edmonton Mall is still using me for at least 5 shifts. Wow. It's going to be the history of the leather I make and going into some of the histories, some of the other leather projects. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, the wife actually come up with an idea to get this channel monetized, where we can put everything on while they call them little stick, the zip, as not a zip drive, a little, you know, that you plug into the computer, and we're going to put my ID photos and things on it, and then go out to the library and try to get the channel monetized there through the email. Since this little teeny tiny tablet thing, being, you know, 6 years old, won't handle email. Yeah, a flash drive, thank you. But we're gonna try to do that, hopefully within the next couple days. So, I mean, not that we're, you know, gonna make a fortune. For some reason, and I can't figure out why, but for some reason the views have gone down and down and down and down and down each and every video that comes out. I looked at yesterday's video last night, and it had only had 6 views. You know, I figured when we pulled away from the Halloween season, started getting back into real history, Western history, things like that, views would pick up. But, didn't work out that way. So make sure when you watch the videos that you watch them, you like them, you share them out. That's going to be that piece of floating wood that we can hold on to keep from drowning or getting eaten by a shark. I was talking with a guy yesterday about building a cabin here for Calamity Jane and set it up like a museum. He said it was a great idea. He was going to bring it up next council meeting. Good idea. Great idea. That's absolutely an amazing idea, Ty. With the cost of living these days, I fully expected some of my kids are going to be looking at moving back home. We have the room. It's kind of nice being empty nesters. Yep. If you tool leather, I'd be very much interested in what you do. 2 things I'm looking for: a decent belt, 4-inch wide, and a case for my crib board. Actually, Skipper, I'm in the same boat. I was looking for like a really wide a really nice tooled, maybe with like some ivy or something going around it. Um, Something very festive to do the Santa suit thing. Either a 4 or even a 5 inch belt with like the big brass buckle on the front to wear with my coat and stuff. But once again, that's another one of those extra little things that costs. Um, you know, what do you do? Speaking of leather, can I ask a question? Does anyone know of a good gun western belt maker in Texas, hopefully near Dallas? Actually, Gunny, Nick is an awesome leather worker, and he made our little huggies and stuff. This one here is for the old channel. You can't really read it, but it says "Living History Comes Alive." I keep it right here on the desk. The other one he made, you know, had our buffalo on it that used to be our logo. Um, it also, if you can see it like on there, it also says "Living History Comes Alive" on it. Um, but he does everything. There's nothing Nick can't do. Uh, you guys, if you're interested in a nice gun belt or gun and holster or a nice rig, you two need to touch bases with each other because Nick Nick knows his business and he'll ship anywhere. Trust me, I know. I spent $1,000 on a new suit this past year, one thing at a time. Never put in a decent belt. The belts are always so crappy, man. They're made out of, naugahyde or vinyl or whatever the case may be. And I mean, it's even cheaper than upholstery vinyl. So it stretches and well, no, you can't do well. Boots, I think, would be a big challenge for you. But I think if you really sat down, Nick, and studied a saddle, I think you could. I think you could do a saddle. It might take you a while to get your hands and your brain trained to it. But, dude, if an old blind man like me can sit down and make uh, an elk hide or a deer hide outfit, where I can't even see to thread a needle anymore. Um, I know you can do it. This little town may not have much, but they all try to help promote each other's business. So anything to help bring folks in would be helpful to their little shops and restaurants. I'd like to see that little town. I think it'd be pretty cool um, to come in there and check it out. Even all gussied up and dressed up, as Cody or whoever, just to come in the old fashionable attire and visit some of the shops and stuff and do some shooting, video shooting, not pew pew shooting, but and then just do a video of the town in itself and try to draw a little business in that way. Even if you got to put it on YouTube and find a Facebook page or some kind of a website or something about that little town and put the video up there so they see the different meals that some of the restaurants offer, some of the businesses that are there, the little bit of history that's there. Always good to promote your town. Um, 9 times out of 10, they really appreciate it. I made Santa belt for a guy here, Missouri, a few years ago. There you go. I'm working on making a saddle next year. Working with leather can be a really expensive hobby. I looked into it this year. Tandy Leather has some basic kits but they're pretty expensive. Tandy's always been expensive. We used to have Tandy leathers all over the place here in Michigan and Indiana. And the last time I seen a Tandy leather, it was in the south part of downtown Indianapolis, right across from the bus station. And it basically had warehouse shelving in it, and most of the kits and stuff that were on the shelves looked like they've been there for 20 years. A lot of empty shelf space. I think Tandy is slowly but surely, at least their storefronts are slowly but surely fading into history. I think you can still order their stuff online, but Tandy Leather's storefronts are closing down all over the country. I can do one, or I may have a few friends down here in Texas that can help you out. I dress up here all the time, and folks love it, especially the ones that know history. Yep, that works. It's good. It's a good way to make a name for yourself in your community. And same thing I do. I'm all the time dressed up and walking around town. People love it. Even in Niles, as big as Niles is, I get stopped, at Walmart or whatever to get pictures taken with kids or whatever, and the wife hates it. It takes us 3 times longer to get our shopping done than what she sets out for it. But yeah, the pains of being a YouTube celebrity. I need to get in touch with the owner of the shop where Jay was in July. They want him to come back. That'll work. A little extra income at Christmas time. Hey Drew, you have an issue with me putting my info down for these guys. Well, I'll tell you what, Nick. Since you're running a whole different thing here, we'll go on and we will moderate you, and now you can put down whatever you want. It's much the same here in Canada with Tandy Leather. I used to buy a lot of stuff from them when I was a scout leader, as we used to do a lot of crafts. And years ago, Skipper, I was an assistant scoutmaster in Muncie, Indiana, and it's really kind of funny because here I am, this Mohawk descendant. Our scoutmaster Dave was Muncie, Delaware descended, and we used to go to Tandy and look for crafts for the kids to do, and we'd price it, and then we realized it was just cheaper to go buy raw hides, or not raw hides, but tanned hides and stuff, and teach them how to make, instead of making house slipper moccasins and stuff, we'd go out and buy tanned hides, and because you could buy a whole hide for what a little moccasin kit cost. You 30, 35, $40 for a little moccasin, or you could go out and buy an entire hide and get 2 or 3 pairs of moccasins out of a whole hide. And so that's what we would do. We would go out and buy just a whole hide and set the kids loose. We would take a pair of finished center seam moccasins or whatever, or we'd show them how to cut leather thong out of the leather, and how to wrap a mandala or make a dream catcher or something like that. And they seem to enjoy working from scratch more than working from a kit. Yeah, I got called Wild Bill. I get called Wild Bill a lot now. I bet you do. There we go. Nick.Smotherman25 @gmail.com. Facebook is Nick Smotherman or Rockin' K Leather. go. Oh, goodness gracious. Man, that wind is blowing. But it's blowing from this direction today instead of this direction like it was yesterday, which was really kind of funny. You know, I'm out there with the leaf blower and I'm trying to blow the leaves across the yard and down the hill, over the sidewalk, onto the curb lawn where they can, drive by in their truck and suck them up. And the wind is coming from this direction, so I'm blowing them down the hill and they're coming up and basically like a wave and just coming right back over me again. So I got them out to the edge of the hill and prayed that today there would be no wind, but the wind is coming from this direction today. So everything I blow out that way is just gonna blow right down the hill. And believe you me, with the way this coffee is kicking my can this morning, I'm gonna have all kinds of energy to do leaves today. Really? Any slower? Oh, that's why. You get what you pay for. Now it may actually pump some coffee out. The wife, when my old percolator died, she bought me this. What is this? Elite Gourmet, and the holes in the basket are so small that they actually plug the coffee grounds plug the hole up, so when it percolates and heats back up, all the coffee sets in the basket. So even though there's 7 or 8 or 10 cups of coffee left in there, you got to tilt it forward to get the coffee to come out. And then you realize the basket's holding 5 cups of coffee. So it's also good. Makes good sense. That's one thing I want to do is teach folks the craft, but right now trying to get all my projects done from my water disaster, working my day job, I'm a little behind. Man, and it happens. It happens. When I took the kids trick-or-treating, I was dressed up as a southern guerrilla bushwhacker. I pulled it off better than I planned. 17 degrees Fahrenheit with wind. Brr. We're not ready for the teens yet. The 20s were bad enough. When we had the 20s the other day, last week, especially with the wind. I had to go to Campers Village to get myself a decent percolator. Wife thought I was crazy. She's into that bloody Keurig. I'll start drinking iced coffee if I got to start making my coffee 1 cup at a time. I'll turn into my wife and start drinking iced coffee. You know, we have the other coffee maker out in the kitchen, but it's either make 6 cups of coffee at a time or make 3/4 of a gallon of coffee at a time. And I can't do the 1 cup of coffee at a time. That would drive me bat poop crazy. I never found a Keurig. I never found a K-cup that was strong enough. I mean, they got some good flavors, don't get me wrong, but yeah, if you like a little bite in your coffee, those K-cups just don't K-cut it. Death Wish coffee. I've not found that anywhere around here yet. Not that I really need to. I mean, Jan does a very, very good job keeping me in Black Rifle, which is a good thing because if it wasn't for Jan and the little bit of surplus of Black Rifle that I had built up, I wouldn't have any coffee right now. When am I not on the list, Nick? Yeah, I'll stick with Tim Hortons Dark Roast. I don't blame you. Want strong coffee, get instant. Oh, dear God, no. That's all my mom drinks is instant coffee. Uh-uh. No way, dude. Every time me and the old man are forced to drink instant coffee, it looks a lot like this. No. No to the instant coffee. And all the cream and sugar in the world will not make instant coffee taste like non-instant coffee. Drew, I'll send you some Death Wish coffee and you can decide if it's good or bad. Yeah, because I'm a coffee connoisseur. I've got coffee from Jan. She's got me just about every kind of Black Rifle coffee that they make. I've got coffee from Santee. I've never tried Tim Hortons, but once again, I can't find Tim Hortons around here anywhere. Let me think. There was another one out there. Another one I heard about. Not Death Wish, but you figure I started drinking coffee with the old man when I was about 15. That was just one of those things we done together. My sister and I got up to get ready for school. My dad would get up, get ready to go to work. He'd come out, sit at the dining room table with us in the morning, and I'd always pour a cup of coffee and sit there and drink it with the old man. And back where we lived at that time, all you could ever find was Maxwell House and Folgers, and that was it. The closest Tim Hortons to me is an hour and a half away. Yeah, Tony gets real smart though. He orders his stuff online and has it delivered, by the metric ton. So, not all of us have a coffee warehouse out in our garage to store, coffee and sugar. And, Operation Coffee is a good one. I get it about once a year, and it lasts me usually all year. Must be a big bag of coffee. Speaking of which, I need to do an order. I would have to taste it before I'd order it online. Chock full of nuts. You know, that kind of reminds me of that Austin Power scene, um, when they have the coffee maker sitting here, and then they have fat bastards, broken down fecal matter sitting here, and Austin's talking to Basil, and he reaches for the coffee first, and Basil says something. He pulls his hand back, then he reaches for the other beaker and pours it in his cup. And every time he gets ready to take a drink, he has to say something, so he doesn't complete it. And finally, he takes a drink and says, "This coffee tastes shitty. Kind of nutty." Big shipment. I'd say so. Oh, fish. Amen. Amen. McCafe sucks. And once again, all the cream and sugar in the world does not make it taste good. I don't care what flavor of cream. I don't care if you're using Italian cream, if you're using Irish cream, if you're using French vanilla, hazelnut, peppermint bark, Mr. Goodbar, Almond Joy. Nope. Nothing makes McDonald's coffee taste good. The only thing that makes McDonald's coffee taste good is driving out of their parking lot and pouring it out your window. That's the only thing that makes it better. Now, back in the day, before they started this whole McCafe stuff, McDonald's coffee was actually good. I remember when I was coming up, a lot of your veterans and your old farmers and stuff would go in there, and they'd pay that $1 for the first cup, and sit there for 2 or 3 hours just getting the refills on the coffee, and just kill in the morning. The coffee was actually good. It was a nice, rich, black coffee. But this new McCafe stuff, I think I'd rather drink fat bastards broke down liquefied poop. Yeah, kidding. I saw boxes of it on shelves at the grocery store. McDonald's ground Colombian is not awful. I've been stocking up on my supply of coffee. Hey, you got to. Especially if you learned anything from me when it come to making coffee when you're camping. Keeping those extra cans of coffee around like I used to do. Go out and buy the cheapest coffee you can. Get those extra socks or whatever out of the dryer. When the sock dwarves only steal one sock out of your dryer and leave a spare. Put 4 or 5 big scoops of coffee in the sock, tie it closed with a little bit of sinew. When you get to your campsite, you grab out a sock, fill your pot up with water, toss in a sock, let it boil twice. The cotton material, lets the water flow through, lets the coffee come out, and really good, really good. Then again, if you're like me, you fill up 30 or 40 of those little socks, tie them shut, throw them in the bottom drawer of the refrigerator, and that's where they sit until it's time to go camping. Old Cowboy Sock Coffee. Okay, I don't drink coffee as much as I used to. The Army kind of screwed that up for me. Army coffee and prison coffee. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but 90% of the time that stuff is not even coffee, it is chicory. I've known guys in my life that have spent a little bit of time in their county jail or something like that, for whatever the reason be, and they'll come out and they'll be like, what did you hate most about that place? That weak ass, bad tasting coffee, dude. That's chicory bark. They take the inside of the chicory bark and they scrape it, and then they grind it up into a ground, and that's what they make the coffee out of. They're off chicory trees. What? Yeah, it's not even coffee, dude. I think I'm going to start getting coffee from this guy I got this fresh harvested from. It's powerful. I liked chicory when I was younger. I didn't. I've had 1 cup of chicory coffee my entire life, and that was 1 cup too many. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all about drinking coffee for flavor, and then the extra added is the caffeine boost you get to start your day. Chicory does not have caffeine in it. You're drinking basically crap with no after effect. So McDonald's used to do chicory blends in the 70s and early 80s. Yeah, they did chicory blends, to cut the cost of, having a full flavored coffee. They would do the blends where it was part coffee, part chicory. But then they cut that off, and then they started doing the pure coffee, and then they went from the pure coffee to this Nescafe stuff, and yeah, or Mutt Cafe, Nescafe, Mutt Cafe, yeah. Take a real quick moment here. As you guys can see by the post I just put up, you'll see me run it periodically. It's that time of the year again when we're going to start looking for, that one special family that needs a little bit of help. And also looking into the Toys for Tots thing as we get closer to Christmas with the Marine Corps, to try to make, some less fortunate folks. I mean, we kind of fall into that category right now, but hopefully by Christmas time things will recover. But, just trying to help folks out We have a couple businesses here in town that have really cut back on their hours. They've done some layoffs. So there are some families here that just really need a little bit of love, a little bit of help to either for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. So, you know, doing our best to help them out. So that's where a lot of the donations and stuff are going to. Um, but that's all I really got to say about that. Yeah, today their coffee's crap. Have you heard from Mike lately? Hope he's doing all right. Just seen him yesterday. He, since somebody stole one of my extension cords out of the shed, which I'll never understand. You know, I keep the one extension cord here in the house to take out to the paranormal investigations and stuff where I have power. I just need that little bit of extra 40 or 50 feet of cord. But somebody got my other really nice extension cord out of the shed and took it. And I went looking for it yesterday and couldn't find it because our leaf blower that we use is electric. And we've actually got two Black & Deckers leaf blowers out there. But yeah, he brought me over another extension cord yesterday. So I seen him yesterday.
Bye.
Have a good day, my love. You're going. What time you get off tonight?
I'm scheduled 2 to 6, but remember, if I get out of class early, I get to work earlier and get out earlier.
Cool. Works for me.
Alright, love you.
Love you. I'll get something out for dinner.
Just don't touch it, don't cook it, just let me do it.
I'm not gonna cook it. Don't worry. Anyone eat chestnuts during the holidays anymore? I don't think so, Fish. I've heard of people, you know, doing it, but I've not seen it done in years. Acorns, there for a while were really big. I know a lot of reenactors that, you know, they delie the, or they lie the acorns to get that worm or whatever out, or to kill off the bad effects of the acorn, and then they'll
It's
bust
recycle week, by the way. You need to take it down.
they'll bust open acorns, and they'll fry up the acorns in bacon grease or something. Haven't eaten chestnuts in years. Haven't had chestnuts in decades. Love the thumbnail. Thank you very much. Good to see you this morning. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's like I told everybody when I started the stream, you know, a few of them are kind of scared to come in here this morning because of the thumbnail. And it's like, yeah, you know, it's chilly enough that I had to put on some clothes for the live stream because, quite honestly, these puppies could cut glass this morning. I'm not cooking it. I'm not cooking it. I was actually going to make chili, but it's supposed to get up into the mid to high 50s today. So I'll save the chili for later. I hated stringing popcorn and cranberries growing up. Poke my finger constantly. We've done that a few times here. Did it a couple times when I was growing up. Got to be a little pricey. Especially, you know, my mom took the time to make these great big pots of popcorn and go out and buy the dried cranberries and stuff. And yeah, got to be a little time consuming and pricey. So, and not to mention the fact you can only use it that 1 year, because once you take it off the tree, you roll it up, put it in a box with the other decorations and stuff. Most of the popcorn is smashed by the next year. So yeah, it's just something you got to do every year. Just kind of. But if you guys will excuse me for a second, we've been at this an hour. I have to run to the potty real quick and get rid of some of this battery acid I've got coursing through my system right now. So, talk real nice amongst yourselves for a minute, and I'll be back. Oh. Not many family traditions left. Seems like my grandma used to make like 50 pounds of cookies, candies every year. I wonder the whole damn family is diabetic. My grandma was the same way, dude. My grandma was the same way. She used to sit for, my God, a week before Christmas and do nothing but bake cookies, ginger snaps, peanut butter cookies, chocolate chip cookies, Mexican wedding cakes. I mean, constant. She had plates of cookies sitting all over the house. Plus, there was enough to bring to the family. And you're right too, Fish. There's not a lot of those traditions. Yeah, peanut butter fudge, chocolate fudge. Oh yeah, I still make peanut butter fudge on occasion. Divinity fudge. Yep. Again, you say messenger. Always better double check. Exactly. We always went day after Thanksgiving and cut down Christmas tree. We never had a live tree. It was always so warm in the house. Mom and Dad never wanted a live tree. My mom used to make a lot of cookies, have her cookie book, but I just don't take the time to do it. That's something I've been wanting to do, and it's something I really honestly, I feel bad that I didn't get to do when Grandma was still alive, because she used to talk about how her grandmother and her mom would make a lot of cookies and stuff at Christmas time. And it wasn't just those cookies we're used to. I mean, don't forget her family came from Poland. So there was a whole different array of little dessert treats and stuff they would do for the holidays. And I always felt bad, especially now, that we didn't have the time or the chance to sit down and bake those holiday cookies and stuff. Especially since Grandma was a cookie-eating fool. She may not eat much of anything else, but by God, you put a plate of cookies in front of her, she'll clean that puppy off. We always say we're too busy. And sadly enough, a lot of times we are. You know, I remember, Fish, back when you were traveling all over the bloody place, putting those big machines together. You know, I know damn good and well. You know, you would have loved to have had another 3 or 4 hours in a day that you could just defuse, get your chakra back in line, and have a little bit of time to do the things you wanted to do instead of running around the country and working on other people's schedules. We could all use a few more hours. We used to do live trees, but went to artificial so much easier. Yeah, one of these days I'd like to get an actual, really a decent little artificial tree. This tree we use now is the same tree that Grandma and Grandpa bought about 25 years ago. Needless to say, more of the little needles, the little plastic needles, have fallen onto the carpet than are still stuck in the wires of the tree. It actually kind of looks like a 7-foot tall version of a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. There's not very many thistles. No matter how much you decorate this tree, you're not going to fill in the gaps or the spaces on that are left open from missing limbs, broken limbs. Yeah, I know. How do you break a tree limb on a fake tree? Well, you bend it back. After a while, the wire snaps, and you've got a missing limb. So it happens. Can eat sweet stuff, so I ain't making it. We'll put our tree up after I see Santa. And the Macy's parade, that's our tradition. I put ours up, I try to put it up the day after Thanksgiving and take it down the day after New Year's. Put it right there in the front window, which means sometime in the next month I have to figure out how I'm going to rearrange the living room to get the Christmas tree in the front window. Got to rearrange the whole bloody room because we got a sectional sofa. So I got to figure out how to move the sofa one direction, put the chairs in another place, and put the TV in another place. Yep. Good morning, Rob. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good. Welcome in, my friend. We don't do a tree. Lady C, good to see you, love. Hope you're doing all right today. A couple of years ago, I bought a beautiful lifelike 9-foot tree. It comes with 3 sections. Super easy to put up. So what we need is a bigger tree. Something that kind of fills it up. Because, you got this great big double window in the front of the house. And here's a tree that's like, I think this wide, at its widest point. Especially now that we got the grandbaby so close by. This will be the first Christmas she actually remembers. So, you know, want to really. I mean, you guys know how I go hog wild for Christmas anyway. So, you know, just having those memories. Um, I'm back. Was commuting to work. Well, I'm glad you made it and made it safe, Sarah. We put up our tree last night. Oh, very cool. Never heard of anybody doing it this early. That's actually cool. Tree have lights. Yeah, new tree have lights. Plug and play. That'd be even better. Don't got to worry about unstringing and testing those bloody lights every year. That takes more than takes up more time than putting a bloody tree up. I'm gonna get the leg lamp. My wife loves that movie, Fish. That is her favorite movie. When it comes on TNT or whatever, every year she plays it for the entire 24 hours that it's on, just constantly. A Christmas Story, Christmas Story, Christmas Story. She loves it, and I would love to find a life-size leg lamp for her. So I know she would be just like Ralphie's dad, and that would sit in front of the window year round. Her biggest prize. There's holiday decorations for little kids. We don't do family celebrations here at Chief's Small House. Good. Thanks for asking. Besides being busy. Doing. You know, same old, same old. Good to know you're doing okay, though. Hey, Terry. Good to see you. Long time no see, love. Hope you're doing well. Now, grant you, we only have 9-foot ceilings, so can't put the top section on if we want to put topper on it. I watched Christmas Story last night. So good. I hate fluffing the tree. Worst part. Now, see, to me, getting the tree all fluffed up, I love it because it makes it so full. I mean, you know, unfluffed, you could damn near fit the tree into a poster tube. Me and Keys were prototypes for that movie. I hate Christmas Story. Watched it once, didn't like it. Don't care for it either, Jan. So, anti-gun. You'll put your eye out. You'll put your eye out. I don't know if I'd actually consider it anti-gun. You know, anti-BB gun in the hands of a 12-year-old with a very, very active imagination. You know, hence Black Bart in the backyard with all of his desperados that are all dressed mysteriously like 1930s bank robbers. I give rifles to 5-year-olds. Well, I started shooting, you know, when I was young too. That old bolt action single shot 22 my grandpa bought me when he found out my mom was having a boy. I think I was probably 5 or 6 first time I went out and shot beer cans with the old man. Welcome back, Tyler. Hope everything came out okay. Okay, folks, time to start delivering. Been listening for the last hour. Y'all have a good day. Peace and love. You too, Jay. Take care of yourself, man. Like I said before, be careful out there. We, you know, we all know there's idiots on the road. Just be careful and come home to your sweet wife tonight. The granddaughter was at the range at 4. Good way to bring them up. Good way to bring them up. Firearm safety, knowing how to take care of themselves, knowing how to provide for the family. Good way to bring up your kids. What about BB guns and bank robbers? Um, we're discussing vigilante work, but Batman, you know. I was 6 when I shot my first gun. Other 2 granddaughters. Ain't 4 yet. More importantly, knowing that guns are just a tool to use properly. You're absolutely right, bud. You're absolutely right. Years old when I shot my first shotgun and rifle, so I agree. Yep. Ice fishing and hunting was mandatory in Michigan. Ice fishing, not as much anymore. I mean, you know, Stone Lake right down the road down here at the bottom of the hill, we probably have the same 13 or 14 guys, maybe as many as 20, every winter go out there ice fishing. Of course, you know, hopefully some younger guys will take over this year, because last year, a few of the guys out there on the lake been going out there for over 30 years, and you know, their beards and their mustaches and their hair was as white as the snow on top of the ice. So I think they might have. I think last year may have been their last year. Ice fishing was the coldest I think I've ever been, aside from falling in the water while coon hunting at 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I could imagine. Guns are fine, just bullets you got to be watching. Yep. I went ice fishing once. Used to go with my dad and my grandpa all the time when I was growing up. We had these wooden boxes that grandpa built that had a lantern and tackle and, you know, the real short ice fishing rods and stuff like that. Had little sleds on the bottom so you could pull it across the ice real easy on a rope. And they double as a stool while you were sitting there for hours on end fishing. So yeah, grew up with them. I think my dad still got those ice fishing boxes, as a matter of fact. 40 years ago, it stayed cold for 3 months straight. Never had a snowmobile, ice shanty. Every had a snowmobile. We never had snowmobiles. We had a rich farmer that lived about a half a mile from us out in the country, and we used to go snowmobiling with them all the time. But we never owned snowmobiles. Ice shanty? No, not really. The wife's son has one. You know, just a little metal tubing, canvas type deal that blocks the wind, but it's still colder than a well digger's butt in cast iron underwear out in the thing. But real nice at night, you know, when you you know, go out there and set up, and you got your hole cut in the ice, and you're sitting there, got your little lantern going, lights the inside of it up real nice. But yeah, other than that, never messed with a shanty. We didn't know shit about hut. We were just out on the open pond. That's how a lot of the guys do during the day here. Even in the wind, they'll be out there um, drowning worms. That's something I want to try is ice fishing and fly fishing. Never been fly fishing. Now, Trevor, the wife's boy, my stepson, he's a fly fisherman. That boy used to catch some incredible salmon and trout fly fishing. But then again, then they took out the dam where he used to go, and you know now he don't do it that much anymore. That 10-degree swim while coon hunting is why I have the stainless steel synthetic stock marlin I hunt with to this day. Yep. Fly fishing in Yellowstone was a blast. I bet it was. I've never been to Yellowstone. I'd like to. I'd like to visit that place before, you know, it erupts and wipes out half the country. Might have been 15, 18 at the time, but went in, but the time I went in, but it got to 10 that night, so I used it for effect. It's alright. It's one thing I've learned through all my years is um, one thing you can count on from hunters and fishermen are using other things for effect. That sucker was that big when I pulled it out of the pond. Bro, that thumbnail is evil. Yeah, but it was too chilly, man. I had to pose for that picture, and you know, I had to get some clothes on. I had to get some clothes on. It's cold. It was cold this morning. Hope you're doing all right, Squad. It's good to see you, man. Well, I'm not dishonest for the most part. We would never accuse you of being a dishonest individual, Tony. Never. Took 2 days to really, yep, exactly. That sucker was a third the size of my car. It took me almost 10 hours to get that thing out of the creek. I mean river. I mean lake. Bleach in the pupil evil. Yeah, but you got to admit, Squatch, I hide that shape well. Bet you didn't realize I had more curves than a mountain road. I'm still curled up in bed. Well, you know, if I had a few more hours in the day, I might be back in bed myself. But, you know, I don't. So I can tell you standing in the Fruit of the Looms while drying my hunting clothes was a fucking bitch. I bet it was. bet it was. Caught a 6-foot eel. Talk about the biggest fish I think I ever caught, no lie, was about a 6-foot alligator gar down in Texas when I was there, just outside of Dayton, Texas. There's a river that runs down through there, and it might have been the San Jacinto. I don't know, but that thing was horrible. You definitely got to stay away from the business end of an alligator gar. They earn their name, that's for sure. Mouth full of some of the ugliest, snarly looking teeth you ever seen in your life. I've seen a 6-foot sturgeon caught on a French River in Ontario. Never seen a sturgeon in my life. Bet that was cool. No left reel lock on the dock, and the gator bit it in half by next morning. Oh wow. Eel isn't much different than catfish. I've caught a 60-pound flathead. That's pretty cool. And a flathead, for being a bottom feeder, they'll put up a little bit of a fight. They will put up a little bit of a fight. Eel isn't much different than catfish. See, catfish to me is my favorite. I love fresh fried catfish nuggets, stuff like that. They're actually talking about trying out catfish up at the bar, getting rid of the cod and bringing in farm raised catfish. So we'll see how that goes. Had a few people asking for it, so I know I'll eat a lot more fish at work. We get catfish up there. It's on my bucket list. Big flathead, biggest I saw. Hey Derek, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. The woman who caught the sturgeon and one that mounted. What the hell are they gonna mount that thing with? A lag bolt? Have to tear the wall out, put a 4x4 in with a lag bolt in it to hold that thing up. I know some that did bigger, so they told me. Good to be seeing you as well. Catfish is some good eating, that is for sure. Hey Brooklyn, good to see you, man. See, this is why I miss, those few weeks of not being able to do the morning streams. We we've gotten so far out of touch with each other, you know, by me not being able to come on live. It's so nice to have folks back in here again I've not seen in a while. I'd much rather have crappie or bluegill. See, I like crappie and bluegill too. But you know, I grew up with lake fish. We never done a lot of river fishing and stuff. We done pond fishing and lake fishing growing up, and you know, crappie, bluegill, sunfish, catfish, rock bass, just whatever, you know, whatever you can catch. Turtle. Walleye, good eating. Yeah, walleye's good eating too. Halibut, perch, cod, haddock. I like pike and muskie. Pike is good. Pike is good. Never had muskie, but pike is good. Don't care for swordfish. Never had swordfish. Now, when I was younger, there was a chain of supermarkets that carried like specialty meat down in Anderson, Indiana, and every once in a while they would have black tip shark steaks, and that was really good. You got the right breading for it, and seasoned it just right. Black tip shark steaks are really good, but I've never had swordfish. Catching pike is the reason Jay won't take me fishing anymore. It's because he's afraid you're gonna beat him. You guys start having them friendly lover competitions out there fishing, and you always win, and then you brag about it. You tell everybody how your fish was a foot longer and 7 pounds more than his was, and he don't like that. I mean, it's humiliating to know that a little teeny tiny scrawny woman like you can haul in a fish that's 1/4 your body weight, and you know, half as long as you are, and there's this big guy, you know, sitting there beside you that's, you know, hauling in this thing that just looks like an overweight bluegill. I hear catfish is good eating if you cook it right. However, I've never had catfish. Oh my gosh, catfish is we actually when we did the very last 1812 reenactment in Chatham, we were a couple of the guys from their local was fishing the Thames, right there along the grounds where they held the reenactment at, and they got some catfish. I think they 4 or 5 catfish on Thursday night, and they fried them up right there on the fire. And granted, there was a few of them there eating on it, so, but I mean, my God, that smelled good. I'm really surprised being up there so close to that area that you've not had a chance to get any catfish yet. Y'all are making me hungry for seafood. Well, I would suggest going out and drowning a couple worms and trying to get some fish then. Because I don't know about y'all, but I got a bag of frozen smelt in the freezer that's been in there for about 6 months. And I think that just might be dinner tonight with some fried taters. I'm thinking. I ain't done much catfishing since the kids were small. Yeah, I remember when I was little, me and Dad and Grandpa used to go fishing so much that whenever, after my great grandmother passed away, um, my great aunt, great grandma's, my grandma's sister, would go out and continue to catch her own chickens and stuff out in the yard, and every time that she'd clean chickens, she would save the liver and the heart and everything for us. Grandpa of course made his own cheese balls and stuff, and that's what we always used for catfish bait. So yeah, miss those days. I've eaten fish from Lake Erie, Lake Superior, Lake Ontario, etc. I will never eat fish that came from the Detroit River. I don't think I blame you too much for that. Heard some stories about that river. We go catfishing. It is with throw lines and bank poles. It is a job. Should go dip smelt in April. I'll take some lobsters, some squids, some shrimp, a plate of mussels, big plate of smoked gator. Well, let's see here. Well, let me see here. Based on where you live at, your lobster would be crawfish. Um, your squid would probably be water snake. Um, Not much I can tell you about the shrimp thing. More crawfish. Smoked gator. No, no. Where you live at, bud, those are called muskrats. So there you go. There's your Missouri equivalency. Um, there's your Missouri equivalency of what you'll take. Now I want fish and chips. That actually sounds good. That actually sounds good. Cost over $100 for that plate. Yep. My God, Joe, we're down to 15 minutes already. It's crazy. Crazy how time flies in the morning. Since my Aunt Sharon passed away, I ain't much interested in catfish anymore. Makes sense. She made a cornmeal batter with milk and beer that was to die for. We we had a grandma had the recipe for a real nice cornmeal batter for the fish, and oh my God, I don't care where I go, I don't care who cooks it. Nothing is ever as good as the fried fish, the fried bluegill and catfish and crappie and stuff that she used to cook up on a Saturday night. When the stream is over, I need to go to the feed store, get some chicken feed. Might be a good idea. The girls might get a little hungry. Start eating each other. Nice platter of fish, shrimp, and chips with coleslaw, malt vinegar, and tartar sauce. Now you're making me hungry, Derek. I have cornmeal on hand all the time, fresh ground from the mountains. Bet that stuff is good too. I'm okay with half that menu idea, but I'll pass on the muskrat. Oh, come on. Muskrat's good for you. Malt vinegar makes me long for Long John Silver's. You know, and it's real funny too. The wife and I just went to Long John Silver's here a few weeks ago, you know, back before all that crap with the mortgage company. And we were amazed how good that stuff still tasted. I don't think they've changed their recipe for anything. The hush puppies, their fish, their chicken planks, nothing in 30 years. It reminded us just how it tasted when we were little. But the hush puppies, they need to get somebody in there that realizes that a hush puppy is supposed to be dark brown and not slightly golden brown. So yeah, it just didn't look right. Now they'll just eat their eggs. Oh, we don't want that. That's your extra income right there. Is them chickie eggs. Have to start making cornbread. A mountain recipe that is awesome. Oh, good old fresh cornbread. Beats the hell out of Jiffy Mix coming out of a box. I mean, that's some good cornbread, don't get me wrong. But nothing beats fresh homemade cornbread. The hush puppies were dark in Poplar Bluff. Then you can cook the muskrat. We don't got a lot of muskrat here. However, you want to see something really funny. 3 of the cats, go figure, it's the golden one that was in here last winter that was just a kitten, and his 2 little matching twins to him, kittens, were out harassing a groundhog the other day, and which was hilarious because they would tag team on him, and one of them would be in front of him, and this thing would be kind of trying to move around him. Then one of the kittens they're not really kittens anymore. They're like, what, 5 months old, something like that, 6 months old. They jump up on this thing's back, and as soon as it moved, they dive off. And then, you know, Tucker, he'd come up, smack it in the head, and he'd jump back, and it'd turn back around to him, another kitten would jump on its back, and chased him chased him all the way up the driveway, across the parking area, out back here until he finally got under the shed. And then I blocked that hole off so the kittens wouldn't follow him in the hole under the shed. So, I'm glad I'm thinking about some video ideas and leather projects because it would be in trouble with all these food ideas. I'm getting $4 a dozen for my eggs. That's actually really good because our eggs are back down, drastically back down. I paid $1.99 for a dozen eggs 2 weeks ago, and the 2.5 dozen were $4.99. So, yep, get that while you can down there. Hey, dog. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. Well, what do we got here? Same old, bud. Same old. Ours are kind of expensive. Yeah, everything's pretty much gone back down to normal here except, gasoline. I mean, it's still every once in a while we'll get down to like 3.17, but we've gone as high as what, 3.74 in recent months. Now, yeah, last year got pretty iffy a couple times. Goodness gracious sakes. Man, we've had a full house this morning. We've had a bunch of folks pop in and out that we've not seen in a while. I'm going to have to, even if it's a short stream, I'm going to have to keep these things rolling. Bacon's still high here, eggs, sausage, almost everything is still expensive. Need to come up here and buy bacon then. I was amazed at the price. Now, we didn't have the money for any of it. Didn't have the money for shit the other day. But when we went up to the store the other day to get a couple things that we needed, our bacon was $5.79 a pound. Buy two, get one free. So, yeah, believe you me, if I would have had a little bit of money to spend on meat, I probably would have spent $15 or $20 on some bacon. Gas $2.89 here. I've not been down by the gas station since last week. I believe it was 317, right around that, when I was down there last week. We've not seen $2 range in a while. Bought a GMC 3500 extended van, 2005, bought an auction for the hot dog business. That's very cool. Steak was $11.99 a pound last trip. I saw steaks the other day. I think it was like 2.73, 2.74 pounds for $23.99. So, not too far off from that. But up here, it all depends on the cut of the steak too, and whether or not you're getting the manager special or whatever they tend to slice off the chunk back in the meat cutting room. You're lucky. Gas 322 here. I bet the van is fuel efficient. Maybe. Maybe not. I've never seen a fuel efficient van, so. But hey, if it hauls around your wiener wagon, there you go. Boneless ribeye, New York strip. I've not had a ribeye or a New York strip since, I've not had a good steak since the last time Jan and Jay was here. I wish we were a lot closer than 5 hours apart, because I'll tell you what, Jay could cook a mean steak. Daggers, there's here. What Tony's are there? I go to GFS and get them for $7 a piece. The stores, morning. Get the markdown meat. Yeah, see, our markdown meat sometimes don't even get in the cooler until 11 or 12 o'clock, because they'll cut, wrap, and price all the specials, all the fresh meat, and then when they finally take it out to get it in the cooler, that's when they pull out the stuff that they can put down in the markdown manager special bin and sell it. We had steak last night and I fixed scalloped potatoes. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds real good. Nice chunk of steak and some homemade scalloped potatoes. Definitely. I didn't eat anything last night. I said earlier I cooked me and Felix dinner last night, and then I made Steph one of her little pizzas when she got off work. Last night dinner was a grilled turkey and cheese sandwich, and that was Felix's idea. She wanted to make grilled cheese, and I said, well, I got that sliced turkey in there that we pulled out of the freezer. Let's throw it on there too. So we wound up having grilled turkey and cheese last night. So that was a pretty good day. Still getting over this, whatever the hell I got. Got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. There's some nasty stuff going around again this year. I have bought in the last month 50 pounds of burgers, 6 lobster tails, 2 pounds of jumbo shrimp, 20 pounds of stew meat, 30 pounds of ground turkey, all marked down, probably save $250. You can do it. You can do it. Those markdowns, especially when they run those buy 2 get 1 free, buy 5 get 3 free, you save a lot of money doing that stuff. Grilled cheese sounds good. Might do that for lunch. Grilled cheese is always good. I made 2 signature dishes for Brenda last couple nights. She wants me to start vendor tent and sell it. Yeah, see, that's what I wanted to do was, get the freezer filled up and stuff before winter got here, and everything went up. But it's not going to happen, I'm afraid. Not with that whole mortgage deal and, them setting our bank account in such a negative negative low. We just don't have the extra money. Not with Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up, stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do. Was get the freezer really stocked up, because I mean they're calling for above normal temperatures this winter, but above normal snowfall as well. And being right over here on the west side of the state, right by the lake, we're going to get dumped. I mean, this year, number one, not really having a dog days of summer, not really having a summer in general, and then Halloween getting almost 5 inches of snow. That was kind of an omen to me to expect the worst. Pray for the best, but expect the worst. So, yeah. But all right, guys, it is that time. I have got to get out here in this yard and get these leaves down to the curb lawn so they can start picking them up. Get the trash can brought up, and yeah, busy, busy, busy. Last day off for the week. So you got an inch over there on the east side. Yeah, we had almost 5 inches, like 4 and a little over 4.5 inches on Halloween. So we normally have flurries on Halloween night, but not this year. Mother Nature is still a biatch, especially this year. We're supposed to have colder and snowy winter. Hope not. Plan on heading in the mountains in January. Maybe, maybe not. We'll pray that you do, but I don't know. But all right, guys and gals, it is that time. It's time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a bunch of birds and get the flock out of here. So you guys all have a good day. Don't work too hard if you got to work, and if you got to work, try to make it a little fun. But until next time, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. We'll catch y'all later. Have a good day.